Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up. I made this cute card with products from Stampin' Up. I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this project on my website, and you'll also find links for the products that I used. If you go to my website and click those links, it'll take you to my online store at Stampin' Up. You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using Swirled Designs and the coordinating Swirled Designs dies. And there are no greetings on those two, so I'm using Reason to Celebrate for my greetings. I'm also using the low profile dots. I am using Daffodil Delight for my cardstock, but the Darling Duckling yellow is just fine, I think, for this card. My card base is Granny Apple Green, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm turning it the landscape mode. I have some of the beautiful bouquet designer series paper, and I really love it. It's got a great background paper, and we're actually going to do some stamping on this. I have 2 pieces of basic white. I've already cut out the swirl from the middle. We're going to be putting this on the front and covering it up so we can layer this up very nicely. Have that little white border there. I've also got an envelope, basic white envelope. So this is just scrap. I put it in just in case people want to use it. So I've got the white swirl. I've also cut a green swirl out of the Granny Apple Green. I am going to use this frame as a stencil, and I have a Daffodil Delight flower from that die set, and again, this is scrap. And I'm going to be using some blending brushes. The small is maybe the best, but I think it'll be okay if you don't have the small. I'm going to stamp this kind of grid on the bottom, and this is, I don't know, shabby chic, or I don't know what you call it, grunge look. I'm putting that on the front and on the inside. And then on this piece, I am stamping Happy Birthday. And I'm stamping Happy Birthday way over on the right side, not touching. And then I'm taking this frame and I'm putting it where I want my oval to be. This one's over a lot to the left. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Plus I've got a little goober of green, so I'm going to include that. When I'm using the brush for an even background like this, I like to start off on either a corner or a scratch paper. This does not need to be even. In fact, it probably shouldn't be even. Oops, I forgot to brush off, but I don't know if you spotted what happens if you don't. You get this kind of dark blob. You get that in the middle of your card. But I think I covered it up kind of nicely. And then we have this splatter. I don't know if it's splatter or spatter. I think both are probably just fine. And I'm stamping this randomly. also doing that on the inside. And really, if you wanted to do some brushing on here too, it would be just fine. And try not to have it be even. Maybe there. And then I'm going to use this frame to cover up, and I really just want to cover up the flower and not the leaves, so I can tuck the leaves up on top. And it's a little tricky because the bottom of the flower is right about at the same place as the tip of the leaves. So I'm going to just brush my leaves. And I did go kind of heavy on my sample. It looks like you've got two colors of cardstock there. This is really a pretty quick card. I'm going to put this on the inside of my card. I like to use the liquid glue for this because if I don't get it down exactly where I want it, I can pick it up and move it a little bit. Once it dries, it's permanent, but it does take a minute or so to dry. Putting this white on the card front. So this has about 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Putting this layer on the front. And then I'm going to put, and I probably should have done this ahead of time so they could dry, because these are very thin pieces of cardstock here. And so I'm going to just put a few dots. This glue, I tend to use, like you saw that I drew a line of glue all the way around. All you need is really 4 little dots to keep it down. You do not need to glue it like you had to do with the old white glue. And this glue does dry clear. It stays sticky. And so I did not leave time to let that dry. So this oval has 2, or actually 4 lines on this side and kind of crisscross on this side. I want to pay attention to that. I just want to have these on opposite directions. And I'm kind of twisting this a little bit and offsetting it from our cutout. And so because I put those down here, I'm going to put these up at the top. And definitely wanting to offset it so that that white shows through. And then where you put the flower does not really matter. You can put it in the center. I kind of put mine on the edge. I think maybe I'll put mine a little bit, maybe like there this time, just to be different. You could put it smack dab in the middle and make it nice and even and all of that, but this is not one of those that you want perfectly lined up, I don't think. We'll put this one here. And one more thing, I want to put those low profile sparkle dots on. By the way, we've got, I didn't mention, but we've got these new style of envelopes that all of our dies and stamp sets are coming in now. And if you have older stamps and dies that you want to put in these same envelopes, you can. I have case inserts on my website for all of our current products. I've been playing with a universal case insert and then realized I probably don't need to do that. All you need to do is cut these to the right size. If you want to put it on the inside, you want to take any of my case inserts, and I've got a line where the fold would be for the spine, and you want to put it just under 5.5. I've got it like 5 3/8, and it is just under 9 inches long. The envelope is 9 inches, so you want to do it a little bit smaller. If you want to keep using our standard cases, I have these same case inserts, and well, I have made case inserts for these as well, and you can use those to put into the standard cases. I don't have very many standard cases on my shelf anymore, but you can see that I've got a case insert for the watercolor pencils. So I printed these on a full sheet and realized I didn't need to do anything special. So you would cut this at 5.5, maybe a little bit smaller, and then this is just a little bit longer than 7 inches. And so you can just put these in here. All of my case inserts are color coded. Coloring and inks and whatnot are blue. Green is adhesives. You'll see how that goes on my newer case inserts, because I've got a color coding chart on there. Personally, I am staying with the new case inserts. I used to have 2 full shelves of my stamps and dies. Now it's all down to 1, and I've got extra stuff on that same shelf, so I love it. These are a little taller, so I had to move my shelf up a little bit. Thankfully, I'm able to do that. But one of the things that I don't like about it is if you've got, if you're looking through your shelves, they're going to look like this unless you put this, I'm calling it a spine strip. And so I just tape this onto the front edge, just a little bit of a spine, but enough to see things on my shelf. I was just going to put my embellishments on. Again, these are Darling Duckling, but I think they look fine with the Daffodil Delight. And I'm just putting 3. Let's see if I can scoop this off of here. So if you slide and then put it where you want. I've got 2 sizes, so I'm going to do 1 large and 2 small, I guess. And I like to put them into an uneven triangle. And that's it. Here is the web address where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. I also offer lots of resources on my website. Click Shop to see the online exclusives, clearance items, and the products I offer to make crafting more convenient. That includes a cardstock sampler for all the current Stampin' Up! Cardstock and samplers for the Stampin' Up! Cardstock going all the way back to 1997. Click Inspiration to scroll my projects. You'll find the directions and images all the way back to 2011. You may also want to check out the Basics button where I share about stamps, ink, and paper, card cutting, bases, and layers, and some of my favorite tools. Click Getting Organized to find lots of free resources like case inserts, labels for just about every product, catalog tabs, color tools, and much more. More organization means more time for crafting. Click Stamp Together if you're in Ventura County and come stamp at my house. You can also join my team if you're anywhere in the United States. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to my website so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.